All right, we'll start with Ryan.
Yeah, honestly, that was a pretty thrilling game. Just kind of talk me through the emotions of that walk-off homer, and then it seemed like the team was pretty excited out in right field. Talk me through that chat as well.
Yeah, we just kind of went over some things that we had talked about previously as a team, and I think overall they were just excited to get another walk-off win. I mean, you see it in our league. The parks are incredible facilities. The fans are incredibly loyal and obnoxious if you're on the other team. Great if they're cheering for your team. And it's hard to finish a team off in the ninth. So you like to see those walk-off wins accumulate, and that all kind of fed into it a little bit. But again, overall, just everybody enjoying a team win. And I mean, look where we're at, man. We're at the exact same point we were last year. We played East Tennessee State on a Tuesday. We loaded up the bus on a Thursday, and we never got to leave for SEC play. Well, this time it looks good that we will be, I'll just leave it at that we'll be leaving on Thursday and we'll go play SEC.
All right, we'll go to Mike next and then Wes.
Yeah, don't jinx anything there. That was close. How good was it to see those at bats from Jordan back late in the game, just to see him kind of swing well, make some good contact when he needed to?
Tremendous. I mean, he's a potential, you name it, anything you want to throw out there. And sometimes our guys have gotten lost in the clouded thought a little bit of accolades and expectations and want to and all that stuff. But, at this point, you might as well call it what it is. He's got the capability of doing anything. I mean, he's got the capability of playing in the big leagues for 10 years, but he's also such a hard worker. I mean, he works like a walk-on that's been told you could be excused from the team at any time. So anytime the kid does well, it's great to see. And, as any young kid or just any hitter, you could be the best hitter in our league. There's going to be ups and downs, but you just really enjoy seeing him do well. And then too, that talent that we spoke on, it makes up for things. I mean, there's a lot of things in that game where if we could replay them, I would make a different decision or try and do something a little bit different. But when you have good players, they make your coaching staff look smart, and he's a phenomenal player.
Yeah, Tony, how much has House League developed the past few years? It just looks like he's throwing a lot harder. Looks like stuff's breaking pretty sharp. He looks pretty good out there.
It's insane. And we always thought he had potential, but where it all started was, first of all, him and Coach Anderson have a very good relationship. And I think that's because Frank believes in him so much, even though he really struggled. I mean, you can ask him. He struggled terribly as a freshman his first semester. Frank saw something in him, and they kind of formed a bond. And it was really a moment where Housley could either cave in and say, I'm not good enough for this, or he could get to work. And he did get to work, but I'll tell you where he really, kind of put it in full throttle was during quarantine. And a lot of kids didn't do that. And he did, and he kept sending us videos, and he did his first backflip, and he put on an incredible amount of weight, and velocity started coming. And then the off-speed pitches got better. So good for him. And, if I could have spoke normally to the team at the end of the game, I was a little, there's a lot of gibberish out of me with all the excitement. I would have said, we got another weapon on the weekend. I mean, he certainly established himself as that.
All right, we'll go back to Ryan and then back to Mike.
Seemed like Camden was cruising there for the first 3 innings and then really struggled. What did you see kind of change for him after that walk?
Well, I get out there and hoot and holler at the umpire. We thought, some pitches were this or that during the game, but so does the other team anytime we're playing a game. It's just nature of the beast. And, hey, the guy's behind the plate, he's got a better angle than I do, but we're just fighting for our pitcher. And maybe the emotions, the negative emotions coming out of our dugout from me, and then also the fact, he's kind of cruising along and all of a sudden hits a speed bump. Just kind of played into it in a negative fashion, and the ball got rolling in the wrong direction for him. And any athlete, it could just be in between pitches as a pitcher or a hitter. You need to learn to kind of erase the last one and focus on the next one. And I think frustration just kind of boiled over during that inning for him.
I was going to ask about Housley as well. Is he a guy now that you can see throwing an inning or two out of the bullpen on a weekend in the SEC?
Yeah, he was that guy before. I mean, I talked to him at Austin Peay and said, you're our jam guy. You're a guy, and I'm not talking about peanut butter and jelly. If you're down in the bullpen, you need to be able to get hot at any second. And he and Frank and Richard have helped him with his routine and come in and get us out of a mess. And he did that against Pine Bluff. He got a huge double play for us. Austin P did it. He just kind of did it in ugly fashion. And, he's had to sit there a while and watch and see other guys do pretty well. But there are also situations he's probably saying to himself, give me the ball. I can do that. And that happened tonight, and he did it.
Back
Is
to
there-
Wes.
Sorry, Sean, follow. Is there a little bit of Andrew Schultz to him and maybe that role down the road for him?
Very much so. I think, you didn't get to see his changeup when he's throwing it like he does in scrimmages or throwing it free and easy. It's a deadly pitch, especially in combination with the velocity. And that's one of the things Schultz had. Now tonight, he finally kind of stayed behind that slider like Frank was asking him to do, and started throwing that for strikes at the end. So imagine if he pieces all three together. Pretty good repertoire we're working with right there. And again, the bottom line is he's not scared and he really wants to be good. And for any kid on any team, if it's that important to you, you'll be good. How good, who knows, but you'll be good.
All right, Wes.
Tony, I'm sure you'd rather, win every game 10-0. But the way y'all have had to kind of fight and scratch for a couple of these, is that the kind of thing that you'd rather games obviously be lopsided, but to win them like that tells you something about your guys?
It does. And I think we're preparing for conference play. And first of all, I think we've done so. One of the things I told our team, we've played more innings of baseball than anybody in the country. Now, normally, you'd say that's great. How many games have you won? That's what really matters. But in COVID times, I and our other coaches take pride in that. And extra innings have played into that a little bit. And with extra innings and all the other adverse situations we've worked through, we should be more prepared for SEC play. If you go to our second year as a coaching staff here, it wasn't a breeze, but we handily, went through our non-conference schedule, and I think we had one loss. And then we got into conference play, and we looked lost, if I could play off that word. So I feel we're more prepared. Doesn't guarantee anything, but it certainly is something you can take confidence in as a coach and a player.
All right, we'll take a couple more guys. We'll go to Josh and then finish with Ryan.
Yeah, Tony, just walk us through that ninth inning there a little bit. ETSU gets some runners on top, Kirby shuts them down, and then in the bottom you get a couple guys on the interference call, and tempers flaring. Just what was going on there in that inning?
I think their pitcher was emotional about the situation. I mean, the guy's out there pitching his butt off, and he overheard the umpires say that Logan was going to get third, which he should have. He was on his way to third. No one was covering, and he got interfered with. So that's where our side's coming from. Their side's coming from, no way you're going to give this guy a free base in this situation. So tempers flare up. And then ultimately it kind of bleeds into the next at bat. I think we had an opportunity to bunt Ferg there, and I was kind of wishy-washy on it with him, and therefore he was wishy-washy on it. An excuse you can throw out there is, without all that riffraff going on, you maybe slow the game down a little bit and have more of a feel for what you want to do and how you want to execute that guy's scoring. But, they're kids and they want to play, and there was stuff being, thrown out of dugouts, and it was a back and forth game. So you get stuff like that. And at the end of the day, I'm sure Greer's buddies with half the team or more. And, everyone will go on their merry way and practice tomorrow.
Do you think there's any benefit to getting such a competitive game, the last game going into SEC play?
It's hard. I mean, I don't even know how many years I've been coaching, but I've tried to look for patterns. What happened? And there's nothing. It's kind of like, if a guy throws a good bullpen or not, or a great one, or it doesn't guarantee him a good first inning or not guarantee, this game is insane, and there's no real pattern. So we'll find out after the weekend. But I think regardless, the team got closer tonight. Guys got better. And we were able to get a win. So I don't care what happens in May, this weekend, April, it doesn't matter. This was a good evening for Vol baseball, and I'm sure the fans enjoyed seeing it too.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.